All right, 2-for-1 deal today. I'm waiting for some plaster to dry to refinish a lot of the walls in the den that I'm working on. I'm just going to go from room to room, just doing all of the work. I got about $20,000 worth of work that I have to do myself, meaning that, hey, if I had to pay somebody else, that's how much it would cost. But the beautiful thing about having real skills that I can do it myself and I don't have to depend on anybody else to do it for me. So, what I wanted to talk about was moving. So, a lot of people that I have been speaking to, and believe you me, I only talk to people that's about it. I really don't waste my time with people that are speculators, people that, dreamers. They really are not in the process of making any moves. I'm dealing with and communicate with people that are about making moves, that are about real skills, real assets, real friendships, building real businesses. That is what I spend my time. Let me get off that phone. Those are who I speak to. And so a lot of people are in the process, and I'm seeing a lot of people move, and that is a great thing. However, you have to take into consideration where you're moving and what you're going to do in terms of building your local economy. When I moved, I was able to draw knowledge and wisdom from not one, but two, but three different people that own communities or homesteads that were able to advise me, and okay, what kind of land you should buy, where you should buy it, how should the layout be, does it have water on it, does it have a septic on it, is it surrounded by trees, is it secluded, is it XYZ away from any major city. All of these things that had to be taken into consideration before I moved. Buying the land in cash, making sure you have a good water source, things of this nature, a pasture. Because if you're going to grow food and you're going to tend to sheep or goats, irrigation, all of these things you got to take into consideration when buying land. But one of the biggest things in real estate, as we know, is something called location. Location. Okay? Me personally, I moved from New York City to a middle-class rural environment area. Meaning that, there's a middle class to upper middle class in this area, and therefore I can do business with these people. I can interact with these people when it comes to their agriculture, because not only do I raise sheep, but there's like one or two people that raise sheep around me. They raise goats, they raise chickens. So sometimes they grow strawberries, they grow string beans. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and patron their business, just like that they'll come and patron mine. Or a barter situation. But if you don't have a strong middle class, how are you going to make money? Because see, you're not going to build a community on Walmart jobs. You're not going to build a community on these minimum wage jobs, McDonald's jobs. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to need to be able to have a good flow of capital coming into your homestead or community, so that you can not only not have to necessarily work, or you always work. I'm a hardworking man. It's quite evident. But being able to develop some kind of economy for yourself, and that includes either agricultural or a skill set, HVAC, carpenter, plumber, things of that nature, selling fruits and vegetables, farming, things of that nature, goat herding, sheep herding, cattle herding, things that you can sell into the local economy. So the idea is that, if you don't have a good, strong local economy, a lot of people, they're buying land, and the land is cheap, but it's way out in an area that there is no real local economy. And so therefore you have to travel an hour and a half in a town. You know how many times I can go to Lowe's about 2 times or 3 times if I'm working on a major project, right? Because I just, I forgot, or, I got to get something or whatever. And so I have that ability to have access to resources. Because, see, if you're way out, you don't have access to resources, it's going to be a lot more difficult to build and do things and complete things, let alone the skill set in order to do it. You need real skills. You need to have real good, a source of income coming in. Now, a lot of people, hey, you can internet beg. You can go ahead and make YouTube videos. But, hey, who want to do that? See, I didn't come out here from a corporate environment to change bedpans or to mop floors or to pluck chickens. I mean, sure, if you got to do what you got to do, you got to do it. Hey, but me personally, I did not come and move from that environment out there to work that kind of job for the rest of my life. You see? And so you're going to make sure, you're going to need to make sure that you have these skill sets, but also you're in the location in order to be able to tap these resources to develop a real skill. Because, see, I've said it over and over again. The majority of my clients are middle class, retired white folk. That's where I make my bread and butter from. That's where I get my money from. You see? So I don't even make money from working class folk. I mean, typically, I'll go out to a working class client, which I've stopped to do. I'm going to start charging for estimates and making absolutely sure, hey, this roof is going to cost $9,000, $10,000 with labor and material. Because roofing, specifically roofing, I can get $2 a linear foot for some metal. Now it's $3.50 a linear foot for metal. It's all damn going up 150%. So the idea is that if you don't have, if you're not in a location or in order for build a business, all that is available is these bullshit jobs. You see? And so the idea is that unless you can develop a real skill and tap into that market, I was talking to a couple of brothers that own businesses, that do HVAC work, that do AC refrigerator repair. And I watch them on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook, and they post their work, and I post my work, and we communicate and even share ideas and stuff. But one of the things that I always notice is that they are in a major market, meaning that between a half hour and 45 minutes away, there are minor towns, which I refer to as minor towns, where you can have anywhere between 50 to 100,000 people, or somewhere in that range where you can tap into that market. Because just like in the city, people need sheetrock done, people need vinyl tiles and tile and floors done, they need bathroom remodel. Just like in the country, just like in the city, they can do that in the country. Now, mind you, a bathroom remodel or kitchen remodel could possibly cost over $10,000 in the city. And I can only probably charge $8,000, $7,000 in the country. But still, with no debt, with all of the land paid for, with everything that you see paid for, in addition to that, the truck and everything paid for, you see? And then monthly expenses at a bare minimum. Do you know what you can do with that kind of cash flow coming in? You see? So if you develop a real skill set and you have that middle class, middle income going for yourself, you can tap into that market. But, in the rural towns, all you see is, the lack of a better term, poor, right trash. That's all you see out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and there's a poor area in every single town that you could possibly go to. In every single small town that I can go to out here in Kentucky, there's a small little ghetto or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's a small little trailer park or whatever where low-income people work. But if that's all you're surrounded to, and you're far out in terms of town, and you can't get to a middle-class environment, and you can't make that money, then you're going to be stuck at these low-paying jobs that are going away. And it's going to be difficult for you to do large-scale projects, you see? So you're going to want to do exactly that, making sure that if you move them, and there's certain sections, places in the United States that I would not suggest people to move to, because there's no economy. I mean, I see brothers out there, they posting pictures and it look like, you know what I'm saying, they done bought land in the desert in the middle of nowhere. And what you gonna do with that in the middle of nowhere? I mean, you can have land, but hey, you know, and there's not even dealing with the concept of developing a raw piece of land, because you got to put septic in, you got to put solar in, you got to drill a water well so that you're self-sufficient on that. You got to do all of these things, and they cost thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. Now, I see a lot of people out there, you know what I'm saying, they're doing this credit and they're buying land on credit. Listen, you want to be able to make sure that this shit is paid for. You see what I'm saying? You want to make sure that your land is paid for, so that in the event that the system collapses or whatever, you know what I'm saying, they're not calling on your land or your cars or things like that. This is why we say be debt free. Now, it's good to have a credit card. They just sent me another credit card in the mail. I mean, they've been sending me credit cards left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 credit cards in the last 2 months. And I've been using these bad boys too. I've been using them. But I also go ahead and pay them off. So it's good to, you know, have access to this stuff, because my credit score is going up and up. I figure by the end of this year, it's going to be at least 750, the way this thing is going, but the way that they do it and reporting to the credit reporting agency. So, you know, this is how you got to play this game, but not be on the hook to these people, you know what I'm saying, so that they can call on your land or your cars or anything like that. This is why I like unsecured debt. All that credit card stuff is unsecured debt. At the end of the day, I spike them, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, they can say whatever they want to the credit reporting agencies. People know I don't give a shit about that. But at the same time, you know, you can use the system while it's up. So that's what's going to be the critical factor in making sure that you move. You know, when you move and you get out of the cities, because it says, come out of her, my people, and be ye separate. And, well, you know, Israelites were agricultural people. But at the same time, you're going to need to ensure that you're developing some kind of business, whether it's agricultural or carpentry, just like the Israelites did back in the day of old. Some type of real skills that you can ensure that it will maintain yourself throughout a depression or a Great Depression, which we're currently going in. It's sad that, you know, a lot of homesteads I've seen in the past, not a lot, but homesteads I've seen in the past fall apart because of this debt stuff, because they did not have a sound strategic economic plan to ensure that they were self-sufficient long term. It's sad. It's sad, you know, there's all praises to the Most High and yah this and yah this, you know. Listen here. You got to be a planner also. You got to make sure that, you know what you're doing in terms of strategic thinking and planning, in terms of, you know, how are you going to do it? And then the Most High, you know, will head you and back up your plan, because you just didn't move and just say, oh, y'all just going to do it for me. You know, a lot of people walking around, y'all going to do it for me. Y'all going to provide for me. We don't know how we're going to do it. We ain't going to do it ourselves. Somebody else going to do it for us. It's a damn shame. It's a shame. You don't want to move with that kind of mentality. You will fail. Trust me. You can just see this stuff happening as clear as day. So, again, and in conclusion, when you're moving and you're getting out of these cities and you're preparing for what's taking place right now in society, make sure that you have a good strategic economic plan to ensure that you can weather the storm. Real skills does more than pay the bills. Have a blessed day. Shalom.